All right, welcome to another installment of Table Talk, the Kid and Kam podcast. Today we're going to be going with the NCAA. We've already done what NBA and the NFL. We thought we'd do NCAA tonight, especially considering it is a Saturday night. Perfect time to talk college football. We just had a plethora of games, but I think the main story that's trending right now with college football is JT Daniels and the Georgia Bulldogs, barely escaping the Mississippi State Bulldogs, first-year head coach Mike Leach. JT Daniels comes off the bench for the first time this season, only the seventh game of the season, where fans felt like he should have been playing earlier. We don't know what happened with his injury or whatnot, but Kirby, he got cleared to play 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
So he was cleared to play week 2, I think. I remember.
Yeah. So this man's just been sitting on the bench, and then we've been playing with Stetson Bennett and Dwan Mathis, who are both not good quarterbacks. I'm sorry, but JT Daniels comes in and throws for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, made some of the best throws I've seen from a Georgia quarterback since
Aaron Murray.
Aaron Murray, or I don't know. We could say 2017 Georgia. We make some good offensive plays. But I'm talking about, listen, 2 holding call penalties, okay, with a minute and a half to go before halftime. 2 holding call penalties. JT Daniels gets us down the field. We score in a minute. What was it? Was it 3rd and 20? 3rd and 20, no problem. 40-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Burton. It's like it was... I'm talking about 3rd and 10s, just completions, just first downs. JT Daniels just getting it done.
I feel like JT Daniels, this game, he was one of those players that, like, they get put in and the whole team's like, we're going to do something. And they all go out there and perform, except for this week, it was the defense. Every week is something new with Georgia. Being a Georgia fan is just living in Spain, but the S is silent. It's just always something else. I mean, to be fair, we don't have Richard LeCount. He's our coach out there, basically, because Dan Lanning didn't feel like coaching this week. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I was unfortunately at work. I did watch the second half, and what I noticed from the second half, our defense, is that we would rush 3 when they would pass, we would rush 3 when they would run. And we fully commit when they pass. So they'd either have a wide open receiver or they'd have a wide open gap for the running back.
Yeah. And I remember there was a game we did that last season, and it was like the defense didn't play good either. And everybody was like, yo, why are we rushing 3? I think he was rushing 3 because of this whole air raid system. He knew they'd be throwing the ball, so he was trying to prevent that. But it just wasn't working because we were playing that soft zone, and Mike Leach was just exploiting it. I mean, they had Will Rogers. Who was that?
Who is you?
41 for 52, 336 yards against quote-unquote the best defense in the nation, which I
will give him this. He's under Mike Leach. Mike Leach is probably one of the greatest quarterback coaches we've seen in a long time in college football. He's definitely going to be something to be thought about whenever you think of coaches in the SEC now. I think Mike Leach is up there in the top 5 in the SEC coaches, honestly. I think he's... Well, I mean, you got to think that this man hasn't even got a recruiting class in yet. I feel like he could do something, bro. You're bugging if you don't think he was winning with a Washington State team that they could only get 3 stars, bro. They could only get 3 stars.
I mean, it's going to take some time for him to get in.
I feel like you give Mike Leach a good 2 or 3 years, Mississippi State's going to be a problem.
To be honest, all he needs really is to convince one of these 5-star quarterbacks to go to his school, and it's over.
He just needs to be like, bro, look, we in the SEC. Come on down to Mississippi State.
Yeah, because like at Mississippi State, he wasn't getting a 5-star quarterback, to go to Mississippi State. But now that he's in the SEC, that's not so hard.
I know what I mean? Washington State before, but yeah, I understand. You mixed up schools.
What do you mean?
You said at Mississippi State he wasn't getting a 5-star quarterback, but it was Washington State.
Washington State. Yeah,
just try not to confuse nobody. But I feel like it'd be easier for him to recruit in the SEC. Right. Easily. Yeah, I mean, if you think about schools you're going to go to, 9 times out of 10, if you ask a kid where he wanted to go other than Mississippi State and Washington State, 9 times out of 10 he's going to say Mississippi State. I guarantee it. Nobody wants to go to Washington State. They lose to Washington every year.
It's still not going to be easy to convince somebody to go to Mississippi State.
Oh, no, it's definitely not going to be easy. But it's going to be easier than Washington State.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in the South when you're next to Georgia, Florida, Alabama. Mm-hmm. You're next to all these pipelines.
I think a guy he should be getting on the phone with is Gunnar Stockton. He's like coming out of Georgia next year. He's like the number 1 quarterback, I believe. Not this year, but next year's recruiting class.
He got crystal balled somewhere?
He's right now. He's a South Carolina favorite.
Yeah,
surprisingly,
that's where it was. He got crystal balled to South Carolina.
Right now, he's a South Carolina favorite. But if I'm Mike Leach, I'm talking to him every day I can. Because I'm like, if you can convince, all you need is a 5-star. Tell him, like, look, man, you can come here and start right away. I'm going to turn you into a top 10 draft pick. And it's going to happen.
All I would say is, be like, look at week 1. That's our potential. Look at this game against Georgia on the quote-unquote best SEC defense. And look what we did. We just need a quarterback. KJ Costello, honestly, I thought he was an answer. He did really good at Stanford when he played. But, I mean, obviously, he's not the answer. He just needs a quarterback.
To go against that SEC defense every week. Right. But, like, back to the subject at hand, though. Like, when was the last time you seen a Georgia quarterback throw 400 yards in a game?
Well, actually, I was on Instagram and it said Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray was the last quarterback.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And it's his first start. It's his first start. And my point is, like,
Jermaine
if we
Burton.
had JT, Jermaine Burton.
He almost broke a record, the single game receiving yards record, who was set by one of my all-time favorite receivers from Georgia, Tavares King.
Green. Oh, Tavares King.
Yes. I remember number 12, he was goated. I swear he was.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyways, he almost broke that. Jermaine Burton went from Nelson to Aguilar to who could we even say? Let's give a quick comparison.
I mean, he went from uncatchable balls to now guys understanding how he runs routes. I mean, dude, 8 targets, 8 catches, man. Pickens, even
90.
Pickens didn't have a crazy game, but he had a game where it's like if he keeps playing like this, he can impress guys. Right now, Pickens is honestly talent-wise, I think he's the most talented wide receiver in the nation. But he has a quarterback that's an actual mailman.
He had a quarterback that couldn't see over the offensive line.
No. So it's like
when you look to build an offensive line, you look for big, heavy, strong guys. And when you get a quarterback that is under 6 foot and that cannot see over that line, you got a problem there. Especially when the offensive line can't even block as it is.
Yeah, our offensive line has definitely degraded.
Every week it's
like
it's Madden. They go in and they edit their own ratings. They're like, this week we're gonna focus on pass blocking and take all the run blocking off. Oh, this week we want to run block, no pass blocking.
It's like the thing that really has carried Georgia over the last like few years, whatever, is the fact that they had they've always had a great offensive line. They've always had 3 good running backs on the line, on the roster. Quarterback, wide receivers, never really a big thing,
They've always been average.
Yeah.
Like they've been to the point where if we would have put those wide receivers or those quarterbacks on a team like, let's just pull a name out of a group of 5 team, Boise State. If we put them on there, they would start. You know what I'm saying? But like, you take those quarterbacks and receivers and take them to Ohio State when you're supposed to be a top 6 team in the nation, put them in Ohio State. Those are second string players. That's what we had at quarterback and wide receiver for these past couple of years. And now that we actually get some talent, the quarterback that was supposed to, honestly, I swear, if Jamie Newman would have played and we would have actually kept Elijah Moore instead of cutting him for Tommy Bush,
Jesus,
we would be the number 1 team in the nation right now. I almost guarantee that.
Do you understand? It's crazy because me and you saw his video. What was it? The 1v1 wide receiver, and we said from there. I remember I saw the video. He was running routes. Yeah, and he was running routes, and I was like, bro, I sent you that video. I was like, man, this dude Elijah Moore is just a beast, man. And it turns out this man was committed to Georgia.
We went to that All-American game where that Justin Fields was at, and what's it called?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he was there, and then we went.
He was there. Tommy Bush was there, and
we went back. We went back to your house, and then it was like Elijah or George is talking to Tommy Bush now or something like that, and we're like, bro, come on, man.
And he decommitted because Kirby chose Tommy Bush over Elijah Moore.
I don't even think has seen the field. I don't even know what number he wears. I legit don't even know
11.
what number he wears. He wears 11?
11.
Honestly, yep. I thought it was 12. I'm not going to lie.
Actually, I don't know.
I thought it was 12.
Yeah, actually, it is 12. It is 12. It has to be. Because it can't be 11 because Fromm was 11.
Who?
Fromm was 11, so it couldn't be 11. I think, I don't know. It might be 11 now because, he was 11 in high school and all that.
Who knows?
He was 11 at the All-American game. But
I mean, dude.
Elijah Moore is a top 5 wide receiver in the conference, and Tommy Bush hasn't played a single snap.
He's a top 5 wide receiver in the nation, honestly.
And then you gotta consider now Tommy Bush isn't seeing the field at Georgia. You got Jermaine Burton, Kyrus Jackson Pickens. I mean, Jesus, Demetrius Robertson. You know what I mean? I got no reason for Tommy Bush to step foot on the field. I mean, now our recruiting for this period has been a little lackluster, so he might get lucky next season.
If only we had Jadon Hasselwood and Dominic. Dude, if only Dominic Blaylock was playing. I forgot all about him. He tore another ACL.
Yeah, that is right.
Dude,
Dominic Blaylock
he's a beast
too.
I mean, I'm so glad that we got him because I haven't really seen Jadon playing at all. He might be.
Yeah,
good. I have no idea.
He might be. I don't know. He might
every
be
time
dominating.
I've ever seen Oklahoma playing, I've never seen him. I don't even know what number he wears. He probably wears number 11. That's what he wore in what's it called, high school, I think.
If I'm correct, it's I think it's 8 or 2. It's either 2 or 8.
I don't know because if he wore number 2, I mean no, because CeeDee Lamb's gone, but he would have. I think CeeDee Lamb wore number 2 last year.
Oh yeah, CeeDee Lamb wore number 2. Yeah, I don't know, but I remember seeing him when they were getting clapped by LSU. He might be 11.
I think he is 11. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's Georgia usually has a good running backs, great offensive line. This season, I'm not going to say we have bad running backs because I still think we got good running backs. I think Zamir White's a good running back, but our offensive line is literally the worst in the SEC. These dudes couldn't block you on social media.
And it's not even the bad. That's not even the worst part. The worst part is these guys are 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have the talent.
They have the talent.
I feel like it's Matt Luke. It has to be Matt Luke.
It's got to be Matt Luke.
Because there's no.
It's got to be Matt Luke.
Explanation why.
Because you got to think when our offensive line played as good as they did in the bowl game, that was a lot of those. 3 out of those guys are in the NFL now. So he kind of had to put a whole new offensive line together. Yeah, and he just absolutely he has not done a good job at all. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised he stays this season. And then not only that, but I mean he's pulled in one or 2 recruits.
He pulled in that 5-star tackle.
He pulled in that 5-star. Yeah, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but
he was the best tackle. He was a top.
But at the moment right now, he can't even teach Trey Hill how to make a fucking snap. It's every time. Listen. Every time JT Daniels clapped his hands to get the snap, I feel like he was jumping, and he's 6'4". I thought it was because Stetson was small, but no. Trey Hill literally can't snap the ball. He literally cannot snap the ball.
I remember it was 1 week we switched him. We were like, yeah, bro, you gotta move to guard, put something else to do that center, and then our offensive line started playing good. I forget who it was.
Yeah, but for some reason they keep putting Trey Hill at center. I don't know why. He can't even he's not even a good lead blocker, so you can't run up the middle. And Georgia's bread and butter used to be those straight down the middle, down your throat runs. Can't do that. We haven't been able to do that in 2-3 years.
We have a power back. Zamir White can run someone over.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We haven't been able to do that in a long time.
I feel like our only running back that can't run someone over is James Cook. That's our only running back that can't run somebody over. So we have every tool for it. We have the 4 and 5 star offensive linemen. We have the running backs 4 and 5 stars. It's just coaching at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching and recruiting for wide receivers.
And then Georgia's always had that that defense. But that brings us to our next point. What's better to have right now in the NCAA, an offense or a defense? Does defense still win championships?
NFL, it looks like it because the Steelers. I'll get into another topic. I'll get back to this offense versus defense later on when we do our rankings. Because I have a team.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense though. You said the Steelers, but we haven't won a Super Bowl. You know who has won the Super Bowl though? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, no, I'm saying right now it looks like in the NFL because y'all have the best team.
I wouldn't say that until we actually win the Super Bowl, though.
I mean, I'm just saying that right now it looks like it. That's all I said. You can rewind the tape. I said right now for the NFL, it looks like defense.
Yeah, but this is also college football.
It's obviously offense. It is 100%
it's obviously offense.
It's no doubt about it. You'll see why later in my rankings. I have a team in there that's not even in the top 6. In the top 6 final rankings, I feel like. And I've even shifted teams. But you can't tell me that look, this is how it is right now. Teams are finally realizing that if you just outscore your opponent, don't matter if they score, if you can just outscore them, you're going to win the game.
I mean, look at Florida. Florida's defense is awful. But I feel like Dan Mullen realized, like, hey, we just need to build an offense. We need to be able to throw the ball. Exactly. But Kirby here is like, yeah, we still want this defense, and the defense isn't working. Defense hasn't played good in 4 weeks. Ever since Bama snatched the soul.
Bama did what we were doing to teams.
Like Shang Tsung, man, just straight snatched our souls, man. We ain't played defense since. And a lot of people were saying, well, it's because we don't have the count. And I'm like, maybe.
He's only been
but I just feel like we have too much. We've drafted too much talent for us to play this bad. And at that point, you got to start questioning Kirby's ability to get because you got to think Kirby's a defensive head coach. You know, the stuff he did with Bama, you know what I mean? He's done some crazy stuff with Bama, defensive-wise. And I just don't feel like he's done that for Georgia. Like I said, 2017 was, I think, Georgia's best team ever.
Should have been,
or at least in this new age. That it technically was. We're being realistic here, but I don't know. Kirby's lost Georgia. He's lost right now. I don't think he understands what it takes to win football games. You know, and it's like, hey, wow, we're 5-2. I don't care. This is the NFL. I'd be like, okay, cool. But this is college football. Our season's over.
Even looking away from Georgia, you got teams like Bama, who were very defense focused in like 2012. You know, those teams, they were very defensive focused. LSU. Now they're offense. LSU last year. Don't get me wrong, LSU had a great defense last year too. I mean, they had so many players drafted, but I mean, the main focus, the spotlight of that team was Joe Burrow and the offense. You had, 2012, I think you had Notre Dame, led by Manti Te'o. I couldn't even name their quarterback from that team. That's how unrecognized the offense was on that team, because that's how defense won early in the early 2010s. Defense won championships. Nowadays, it's offense. It has 100% switched to offense. I feel like it switched to offense about 3 years ago. So, I mean, Georgia's 2017 team, the best thing on that team was the offense. The Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, they were the highlight of the team. Jake Fromm was going off. Terry Godwin, he was doing Terry Godwin things, I guess you could say. And then Javon Wims was, he was doing pretty good. But that offense was the main focus of that team. That's why we got so far, honestly. I don't think without our offense we were going to go anywhere.
I think football last year got revolutionized. You got the Chiefs. The Chiefs really turned around, the whole philosophy of football. I think the Chiefs really started this push for teams to start building offenses, and I think LSU last season just really solidified it.
Yeah.
I think they really just solidified it. So everybody's like, okay, we need to do what LSU is doing. We need to run spread. The RPO needs to be deadly. Have a good enough running back to where we can scare people. And boom, we hit people deep. And I think now you got tight ends becoming making an even bigger impact in football. We use them with the RPO because tight ends are getting more and more athletic. Tight ends used to be these slow guys who can catch passes. Pretty much Gronk. But now they're just way more athletic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they actually can run 2-3 step routes. Yeah, running 2 and 3 step routes, getting open. Running the vertical. So I think like. Last year just really was a revolutionary season for football because I feel like last season of football just really changed it forever. And then you got both those teams won the Super Bowl, won their championships too. So, I mean, I just think it's a big step up. Mm-hmm. So what was that team you were talking about that's made it into your rankings? Give us a sneak peek. Team with this offense.
No, I can't do it yet. No.
Can't do it yet.
We'll skip on to the next topic, the house series of Cincinnati and BYU.
How serious can we take Cincinnati and BYU?
I'll tell you, I'm taking one team serious. That's BYU.
I'll take BYU serious.
They have a Heisman hopeful.
I'll talk to you about this. Well, I talked to you about this, and I'm thinking, okay, well, BYU could possibly try to outscore. Here's my thing. If BYU makes the playoffs, the best they're going to be is ranked number 4, seed 4. And you know who's ranked number 1. You know who's ranked number 1.
Bama.
We had Crimson Tide. And you can't sit here and tell me right now that BYU would hold Bama. BYU's defense would hold Bama to under 50 points.
You can't tell me Bama's defense will hold BYU under 50 points, though.
Oh, they can. They can, and they will. It's an SEC. I don't think so. It's an SEC defense.
I think Bama would 100% win that game.
Nick Saban.
But, bro,
you don't think Nick Saban's gonna have them boys? It's Nick Saban.
It's BYU.
We're talking about
Come on, now you're not taking them serious enough.
Did you just say it's BYU?
I'm not saying they're gonna beat them. I'm just saying that I don't think that it's gonna be a blowout that you think it would be. Like, I think if Bama would win, it'd be by 17 or 14. Not by 35, how you think it'd be, or 28. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
What I'm hoping right now is that we don't see BYU in our bowl game.
Oh yeah, like we both said, we're probably gonna see Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, I can see it.
I see that. I don't know, because Oklahoma State's losing a lot now, so I don't know. Maybe they're gonna be that team that's just that left out team that doesn't make their championship, but they're still decent.
Well, the thing is that
we're gonna play a team like that.
Let's see, because our top SEC team will be Bama, most likely.
Yeah.
Bama makes it to the playoffs. So that means the second team from the SEC would make the SEC bowl game, and then you got to consider Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 3.
Florida and Texas A&M Texas A&M could make the playoff if they win out and Bama loses in the SEC championship game. Or does Bama still make the playoff? See, that's why it's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot going on, because I honestly think Florida. I think Florida could. Nah, Florida's defense is just too bad.
If Clemson loses again to Notre Dame in the ACC championship, they could possibly get kicked out. If Florida beats Bama and everybody's like, well, Bama, we think they're good enough. I could see Notre Dame jumping up to 1, Ohio State to 2, Florida to 3, Bama to 4. That could 100% happen. I mean, this is honestly, this year is just crazy, because you have Bama, who's played what? They've played 8 games. Clemson's who played 8 games. Notre Dame who's played 8 games. Florida played 8 games. BYU, I think, has played 6 or 8, one of them. And then you got Ohio State over here 3 games in. Oregon and them, they played, 1 or 2 games? Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how this season is just, it could be anything happen. Anything could legit happen this season. Ohio State could, be tired from playing their season, because their season's obviously going to last a little bit longer than everybody else's, because they're only 3 games in. So they could be tired, go into their bowl game, and get smoked because this team's been resting, game planning on them this whole time. It's just crazy.
So do you realistically think BYU could defeat Alabama if they face?
No, I said they're not beating them. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout.
You think BYU will go from playing these weak teams to going against Bama? You think they'll be prepared for that? We see it with Oklahoma year in and year out. We would see it with Notre Dame year in and year out. Seems like Notre Dame's finally got it together.
I was about to say Notre Dame just beat Clemson. They was tired of losing to Clemson.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing like Notre Dame has finally figured it out. But my thing is like, this is BYU, man. Come on. Let's look at their schedule. What teams have they played this season that's really gonna make us go, you know what I'm saying? Oh wow. Oh my, this team is a threat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they got this Heisman guy. You know, they haven't played a ranked opponent yet. I mean, they played Boise State, beat the goofy out of them. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like I said, these teams aren't. They're not threats.
Let's hear your rankings. Let's hear your rankings. You can go first.
Hear my rankings. Well, before we do our rankings, we didn't talk about Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati. I'm not really taking those too serious. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. I picked UCF to beat Cincinnati today, but obviously Cincinnati won. But I thought UCF would get that upset and go ahead and get Cincinnati up out of the playoff picture. But they failed me.
We see this every year with a team like Cincinnati or Memphis.
Yeah,
they do good and they lose their last one of the last 3 games of the season. They lose, and then they're completely out of it.
Yeah, Cincinnati's time is definitely coming. Yeah,
but I'm taking BYU more serious. I think BYU can win this season out. And there's a slight chance. And now, the ranking was supposed to be like our ranking right now?
Our ranking? Yeah, right now. Yeah. Okay, I mean, the first college football playoff rankings are Tuesday. Okay, so
all right, that's how I made it.
We drop our 6 right here? Top 6.
All right, you start. Okay. You start with 6.
Okay.
I'll say my 6. Like, you say number 6, okay. I'll say number 6. And then you say number 5, I'll say number 5. Okay.
At number 6, I'm going Texas A&M.
Number 6,
Texas A&M under...
Okay, no.
You want to explain?
No,
okay.
You explain.
Second year under Jimbo Fisher, man. I'm liking what I see from Texas A&M. They got a big win against Florida. They were able to stall Florida pretty good. It was a high scoring game, but their offense is looking like it can be a threat. I don't know how serious we should take them with Kellen Mond. He isn't the national championship winning quarterback, but I feel like they could do possibly enough to get into the playoff, but it's going to take a lot of luck to get there, including Alabama possibly losing 2 games. But that's my team at 6.
My number 6 team is BYU. I've already explained it. Zach Wilson, I feel like he's the real deal. We just went over it. Offense wins championships nowadays. BYU, I feel like, has the offense. And don't get me wrong, BYU has produced some defensive talent in the NFL. Not stars, but they produced talent that went to the NFL on the defense side of the ball here recently, too. I feel like they have enough. I don't know about making it to the playoff, but if they were to face one of these teams, I feel like it would be a shootout, but, obviously the other team, I feel like they'd take it late in the game, win by 14-17, like I just said.
Yeah, I feel like too much has to happen for BYU to get in. Like I said, they don't have any impressive wins. And
they don't have the strength of schedule.
Yeah, it looks like they only have 1 game left, actually, and that's against San Diego State. So they're just going to be sitting, chilling, you know what I'm saying, while everybody else is out here getting these juggernaut wins. I just don't see BYU realistically getting in the playoff. But let's just say, I'm going to say once again, please don't make them play Georgia. That is a loss, and we don't want to take that.
All right, you go ahead with your 5th team.
With 5th, I'm going BYU.
Obvious. Oh, you kicked Florida out?
Sir, we're only at 5. You're jumping the gun, okay?
Then who'd you kick out?
I'm gonna need you to relax.
Okay, all right.
At number 5, I'm going BYU. Right now, BYU's offense is probably one of the best in the nation. Like I said, I just feel like too much has to happen for them to get into the playoff. It can happen, and I do think they're better than Texas A&M. But like you said, it could be a shootout. I doubt it, though. If they get in the playoff, they're getting smoked. 100%.
I didn't realize they only had 1 game left. But, I mean, this is probably as high as it can be for me.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 team is Florida. It's obvious. Kyle Trask, this is the first time he's thrown under 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, I don't have to say much about it. It's Florida.
Can their defense win them the title, though? I'm just kidding. I mean, but there's bad defense. Like LSU didn't have a good defense last year, or Bama doesn't have a good defense now. Bama, he's like a decent, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're allowing 30 points a game, 20, 28, 20, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Florida, though, is bad.
Florida's defense is horrible.
And I mean awful.
Memes that I see about their defense, like when they're doing the cha-cha slide during the play, that junk's so funny, bro.
But... And that's a thing. Could they actually win that? Could they actually win a championship with that defense? They got to face Bama soon. I hope they're ready for that. So they got to win that to get in the playoff. That'll be cool. Interesting. Could have 2 SEC teams, but if they win that, then Bama goes down to 4.
Kicked out, bro. This is exciting for me. All right, number 4. Who you got?
Number 4, I got Ohio State.
Who did you kick out? What? Okay.
Number 4.
I'll let you explain it again, but I mean, at number 4, I have Ohio State, so you can go ahead and explain it.
Right. All right. So, I mean, Ohio State's just exceptional. I think they got a good defense. They scared a lot of people with with their game against Indiana. I mean, not really. They were up big, and then Indiana bounced back. But Justin Fields kind of had a little shaky game. Besides the fact he pulled out a W, it's a dub. And Justin Fields, I miss you, man. I still wish you were in that Georgia uniform. But
yeah, I see a lot of memes about, me and you both. We see memes about Justin Fields and all that.
We see a lot of memes.
But I mean, if you were in that situation as a head coach in the college football level, making as much money as you are making that money for a reason. Is that's because you called those shots.
At the time, it was the right time.
But it was the right decision at the time. 100%.
At the time, it was the right decision.
And by the time that we possibly could have made a switch, it was too late in the season.
Yeah, it was too late. Justin was already gone.
All right, who you got? Number 3.
Ooh. Number three. Hates me to say this, but it's them Florida Gators, man.
Who did you kick out? Goodness.
It is them Florida Gators. I think their offense is exceptional. Okay. Yeah. I think their offense is exceptional. I think they can pretty much outscore a lot of these teams. I think them and Bama could be a good matchup. We'll see how good their defense plays.
Let's say Bama wins out.
Okay.
Bama hasn't lost yet, have they?
No.
Okay, let's say they win out and they lose to Florida. Does Bama and Florida make it in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Florida makes it in. Well, I think Florida's ranked number 5 right now? And no, 6.
No, they're ranked 6. Texas A&M's ranked 5th.
If Florida wins that game, they go to 4. They go to 4. They go to 4 for sure. Okay. I think Bama actually. Yeah, I don't know if you could realistically keep Bama in it. Although Bama obviously is the top 4 team in the nation.
Exactly. Like, I feel like the ending ranking, you 100%, they even say it. They say they pick who they think is the 4 best teams in the nation. Was reasonable. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, well, this team's number 8, but we believe they're the 4th team in the nation, so then they're going to move them up. No, it doesn't work like that. They'll probably take the top 6, and they'll be like, which 4 of these teams are the best in the nation, and they narrow it down. So I mean, Bama's obviously one of them teams, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in the committee, so
yeah, it sucks. We should.
But I think somehow they look a lot different. I think somehow they both make it, even if Clemson gets kicked out.
If
Clemson has a loss.
Florida beats them and they both went out, I feel like Florida and Bama make it, 100%.
Maybe Florida moves up to 3 and Bama goes to 4, but then Clemson.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be tough.
It depends on how Clemson and Ohio State. Because, like, you already know Notre Dame and Clemson's probably going to face an ACC championship.
So I think whoever wins the SEC championship gets in. Who loses, they get out, sadly. They'll get a New Year's Six bowl, though, so they should be happy about that.
Okay, and number 3, I have Clemson.
Okay.
DJ's been playing great for them. Obviously, T-Law's going to come back, play like he usually does. Let's hope. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, you don't really have to explain anything for this. These next few picks, I don't have to explain nothing. You have a lot of explaining to do because there's one team you kicked out, but Clemson I feel like they're ranked number 3 right. No, they're ranked number 4 right now. I jumped them ahead of Ohio State because yes, Ohio State did win, but they only won against 7. Yes, it was a number 9 team in the nation, but then again, it's Indiana. Indiana doesn't win games like that. They are the number 9 team again, and only beat them by 7. Number 3, Clemson. Who's your number 2?
So at this moment, I've gone completely brain dead. But at number 2, I got Clemson. I know they lost. I know what you're thinking too.
Wait, why?
I know what you're thinking.
Wait, why?
Listen. Clemson lost that game, but we're not going to sit here and pretend like their backup quarterback didn't throw for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns.
So you kicked Notre Dame completely out of the top 6?
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about Notre Dame, to be honest.
Dude, you're bugging.
Forgot completely. I am bugging. I mean, you're not capping. I completely forgot about that Clemson Notre Dame game until we were just talking about like a few seconds ago. I was like, I've kind of messed up my rankings.
I was like, bro, who did you kick out? And you kicked out Notre Dame, the team that beat Clemson.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because if anything, then I would take BYU out and then replace BYU with Notre Dame at 5.
You dropped Notre Dame all the way to 5?
Notre Dame would be at 5 for me, bro.
I got Notre Dame at 2.
I'd probably put Clemson at 6. I don't know. Either way, go. Bama's number 1. I messed up my rankings.
My rankings
Bama's number
is
1.
1 Bama, 2 Notre Dame, 3 Clemson, 4 Ohio State, 5 Florida, 6 BYU.
Yeah. I completely forgot that Clemson lost, even though I really didn't.
You were like, you legit said that was your main argument. You're like, yeah, they lost.
Regardless. Anyway, I still think Clemson's the second best team.
I think Clemson is the second best team, but you can't take the respect off of it. I mean, it's just the first ranking. It's not the final ranking, so you can't take Notre Dame's respect.
I mean, yeah, I messed up. They wouldn't be number 2, but I completely messed up my rankings. But I still think they're the second best team in the nation, and I don't think Notre Dame's going to beat them again. That's respectable. They're definitely Notre Dame is not beating them again. I'm saying it right here.
That was crazy. I was like, who did you kick out?
I was wondering why you were saying that. I was like,
bro, did you kick Ohio State out because they won by 7? I was like, you're bugging for that. And then you're like, well, we'll see. And then you say Clemson. I'm like, dude, Notre Dame's not number 1 and Bama's completely out. That was crazy.
I completely forgot.
Anyways, thank y'all for listening to this episode of Table Talk for the NCAA this time. We'll most likely do a full podcast next week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It'll have most likely NCAA, some NBA free agency stuff. Unless something big happens in free agency, then we'll probably do another Table Talk for that and just have NCAA and NFL in the podcast. But we'll be back on our regular schedule here soon. It's just schedules have been mixed up because I got a new job and it's hard working around those hours. But thank you so much for watching or listening. My bad. And everything will be linked in the description. Go ahead and give us a follow, a like, subscribe.
Give us a follow. Yep.
Thank you for listening to Kid and Kam.